Let's start with the beginning of the day, and I'm going to tell a story in order to illustrate how a day in the life of a data engineer really goes by talking about one main project that I did while I worked at Lyft. So, while I worked at Lyft, we were working on a project that was meant to detect payment fraud for our subscription business, Lyft Pink. So, just to give a little more context, Lyft Pink lets you subscribe to Lyft, get discounts for when you order your ride or order scooters. And it costs about, I want to say, $15 a month. And what we were finding is that there were a lot of failed payments for people that were on reoccurring subscriptions. And so, with that said, um, the beginning of the day as a data engineer was mostly spent for me being in meetings. So I'm talking about like 9, 10, 11 o'clock a.m. We were primarily focused on connecting with our stakeholders and our cross collaboration teams to talk about what needed to get done in order to solve this failed payment uh, dilemma that we were having in the subscription business. And so I know that meetings sound very mundane and they're like, hey, I have to be in meetings, I have to talk with people, I have to go into useless hours, blah, blah. But frankly, it was one of the most exciting times in the day because this is when you got to see what other people were working on. So for me, for example, we had a data engineering team that worked closely with the data science team, and we were able to detect, or I should say, learn what the data scientists were working on in order to detect what failed payments were happening and why. And so we thought this was really, really cool because at the end of the day, as a data engineer, you don't always get to see this side of the coin, but at big tech companies, you get to do that and you get to learn from many, many smart people, many data scientists, and get a lot of business insights. And so for me, in my case, we actually found out that people were putting their first month subscription on a digital card. That way they would not fill it up with money and somebody would basically get a free trial of Lyft Pink without having to pay in 30 days or when their next month was up. That was very much the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock a.m. 3 or 4 times a week, basically.